Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Adam McCullough TV. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. This is United Daily. We are live, unless you're watching back after we've been live, of course. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribing to Adam McCullough TV. Remember, there's daily content here. And in today's show, we are obviously looking at all the United news that has hit the headlines in the last 24 hours or the last period of time since we were live last. First things first, before we get stuck into today's video, shout out to the most recent new members on Adam McCullough TV who have clicked join and have joined up: Rec Fletcher, Jeremy Vaya and James Powley. I really do appreciate you guys getting involved, and we're releasing the first premium video next week some period, so there's still time for you guys to click join and get involved for that. But remember, we got daily content on here for you guys, and right now it's the United Daily. We're talking Jack Grealish, Jadon Sancho, Saul Niguez, Rio Ferdinand's recent comments, and whatever you guys want to talk about on the channel, we are talking about it right here. And we've got plenty of you guys already in the comments. We've got Jacob, Mikey, John, Michael. Well, hello there is in the comments as well. Thank you guys for joining us today, as is PJ and P Savage in the comments, who are also members on Adam McCullough TV. So thank you for getting involved. And we got Damian Brown there as well with a cheeky little request. But let's get stuck into this Jack Grealish news. Now, Jack Grealish was seemingly, reports would have you believe, set on a move to Manchester United. Everybody thought he was going to leave Aston Villa in the summer. He's been linked with a whole host of different clubs, but Manchester United are the ones that he's constantly linked with. And the rumours have been there that Jack Grealish would be coming to Manchester United. But in the last 24 hours, last 48 hours, he has been up to a few of his old antics again. If you remember, when he was a younger lad, he was clearly very, very talented, but he had issues off the pitch where he was, you know, having a drink here and there, enjoying himself a little bit too much off the pitch, and getting caught up in the wrong kind of headlines. And it was probably why, you know, up until now, England haven't really played him. Now, I think that's a disgrace. I think he should have played for England in the last 12, 18 months. But regardless of that, there has been a question mark over his off-the-pitch antics. Now, he seemingly got all of that out of his system. He'd seemingly, you know, got back down to business and was just doing his business on the football pitch, not getting caught up in the front page headlines, making the headlines on the back pages for all the right reasons, helping lead Aston Villa back to the Premier League, and obviously performing well in the Premier League despite where their position is in the league. And now, while everyone's in lockdown, he gets caught up in some silliness where he's out driving. Well, we don't know whether he was the driver or not. It was definitely his car. He's out with some mates and they're involved in a crash when everyone's supposed to be at home in lockdown. And just early as hours before and earlier in that day, he had released a video urging everyone to stay home and save lives and help the NHS and all that kind of stuff. And then himself was being a hypocrite out on the road. Now, there's some concerns that, you know, was he possibly drink driving? Was there any issues around that? And there's nothing confirmed about that. And those are the worrying things. Now, West Midlands police are investigating this. But as it stands, Jack Grealish came out and apologised yesterday. Now, if he was drink driving and had a crash and didn't stay at the scene and all that kind of stuff, I'd imagine there'd be a little bit more going on at the moment. I'd imagine he wouldn't have came out and apologised in that manner, because then it affects, you know, if that was a legal case, you wouldn't be able to come out and talk about it. So I'm hoping all those reports and rumours about any further, you know, idiocy involved in this incident isn't that, and it was just him being out when he shouldn't have, and he crashed. He has come out and apologised, you know, fair enough. He probably was pressured to do that by Aston Villa and his PR and all that kind of thing, but he has come out and apologised, and you have to take that as well. But are United going to now reconsider signing this guy? If we were thinking about signing Jack Grealish, are we now going to think, you know what, let's not. We don't want that kind of attitude and behaviour around our team. It'd be interesting to see how United will approach that. Now, the Mail are reporting that it's not going to affect Manchester United as of yet. They're monitoring things, and they're monitoring the West Midlands police investigation but it's not going to affect us going in for him. And they still think an £80 million transfer will happen. Now, I've been a little bit on the fence with this one. I want it to happen, most definitely. I want Jack Grealish to be a Man United player. And maybe, it's a bit mental that I'm saying this, but maybe, this is just a one-off. And I know he's done stupid things before, but it wasn't that bad, hopefully. And he can get down and carry on where he left off. And it's not a sign of things to come. And I do think United can be good for players in terms of, all right, I'm not going to be fucking around and we'll keep control of our players and that kind of thing. So I still want the move to happen. I still want Jack Grealish to come to the club. But I do feel a little bit sceptical about it, especially with Paul Pogba's future now in a position where Paul Pogba may even stay. Will us then still sign Jack Grealish if Paul Pogba stays? Because there's that question mark as well. Can you fit all three, Bruno, Grealish and Pogba and Sancho, if he was to come into the same team? There's a lot. It's great problems to have and it's great depth to have, but would it be realistic? Would it be realistic for United to spend 100 million on Jadon Sancho, 80 million on Jack Grealish and not sell Paul Pogba? I don't think it is. Jeremy Vea is in the comments, and I don't know if you got it at the start of the video, but I did thank you for joining. You're one of the most recent joiners. And you say, I think a player like that, you have to know how to manage him like Ferguson did with Cantona. If you don't know how to manage him, you have a big problem. He's a good player, but what he did was stupid. Nicky says 80 million is too much. Grealish is a left winger. Why do we need another left winger, says Max. I think he's not. I don't think he's an out and out left winger. Just like he's not an out and out right winger, and he's not going to be fixed in the midfield area. I do think he's one of those players that you kind of have to just give a free role. A little bit like Bruno Fernandes in that he'll just roam around. He can occupy probably wide positions, right and left. He can occupy a centre position. He can even play as a false nine. That's the ability that Jack Grealish does have, is the ability to do that and play in various different positions. Hornby says Sancho should be number one, absolute priority, and we'll be talking about Jadon Sancho a little bit later on in today's show. Tian says, listen to Rio, Ed, Kane and Sancho would be the golden signing. Stay safe, Adam. And if you do look at that comment in the other headlines, Rio has been urging United to sign Sancho and Kane. Max is saying Gavin is spitting facts, and this is why he's saying that. Grealish is overpriced and overhyped. Don't get me wrong, he's a great talent, but we don't need an 80 million left winger. His stats as a centre mid and CAM are average. We need a box-to-box CM to replace Pogba, says Gavin Stockhill in the comments with a different alternative view on Jack Grealish. I don't feel Jack Grealish is overpriced and overhyped. Well, you could say overpriced. I think a lot of players are overpriced in this day and age, but in this market, it's probably about 60 to 80 million pounds is probably about right in this market for someone that's as important as he is to Aston Villa. I do think if Aston Villa get relegated, depending what happens with the remainder of the season, then we'll see that price reduce a little bit. And you've also got to take into consideration the virus and the pandemic and what's that causing to clubs and the issues that's causing for clubs financially. Maybe United will be able to knock a little bit off Jack Grealish's price, although Aston Villa's owners are very, very wealthy, so that may not be the case. No shin pads is hard as fuck him, says official Freddie Benson in the comments. And I love that. The little swagger that he has, the little, his socks rolled down and no shin pads or very small shin pads. And I like the way he plays. I like the attitude that he's got. I like Jack Grealish's style of play. I like the way he plays. I like how good he is. I think he's the man for us to come into us, but only if we sell Pogba, it seems, because I just don't see where we get all of that money from. I'd sign both. I'd have both of them in my team. I don't think there's a problem having depth, and like I've mentioned, he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play in CAM. Now you can always play him on the right, in the middle, on the left. Rotate with other players, chop and change, and that would be a fully free attacking forward, wouldn't it? John's in the comments saying he's going if we stay up or not. Yeah, I agree with that. It just depends on what the price is, doesn't it? If you go down, I imagine it'll be a little bit cheaper. Adil likes his hairstyle. Health is more important than football, says Michael. That's very true. That's very, very true. Of course it is. And a lot of these things that we're discussing pale into insignificance when we consider the bigger issues that the world's facing. But if we can't escape things and have a little chat about football, then what is football there for us to do? I know we've got no games at the moment. I know we've got none of that. But we can still take our minds off things and talk about the old footer. Can't we? Thanks to his DUI stunt, allegedly, I reckon his market value will go down. 80 million is too much, says Stoic PB Mala. Anything else, guys? Get your comments in those comments below. Grealish or Maddison? Can only have one. Who would you have, says Liam. We've done this question countless times before, and we've spoke about this on many occasions. I would have Jack Grealish, but I think James Maddison's a fantastic talent. I'd be happy to have either of them at the club. I'd be happy to sign either of them. Great players, but I would put Jack Grealish ahead of James Maddison for me. That's what I'd do anyway. Deals for days are going so slow with that football, and I know how you feel, mate. We're struggling out here. Make a Man United career mode, says Jim Lee. I am sorting something out for that. I've ordered a PS4 cam, which should be coming. Obviously, with the situation, it's probably going to take a little bit longer than usually. But to do live streaming, I need a PS4 cam. I tried to do it with OBS and remote play and my camera, and like remote play would start lagging and all that because it's obviously not the television. And if I use Elgato and that stuff, I can't then put a camera on it. So those are the issues I've been facing. But with a PS4 cam, you can live stream. So that'll be a piece of piss with that. So yeah, let us know what you guys are thinking. Gavin wants us to sort out a fan calling. I'll try and look at how I do that and get it sorted. Whether I need to set up a screen, whether I just do it off my phone, whether I do it via OBS. I'll set something up to sort that out and see what we can do with a fan phoning. He does have quality, but he lacks attitude to be a United player. In my opinion, he's not worth 80 million, says Josh. You can stream on Twitch straight off the PlayStation, says Corey. Yeah, I'll do that, but if you do it straight off the PlayStation without any cameras, like I want to add the camera to it because that's part of the content, isn't it? And part of what I do. I'm not a FIFA YouTuber, but I could try it without one, but I just rather have it on there. So then when I make content out of it onto a bit of YouTube or whatever, then yeah. Do I use FIFA or Pro buttons? I use FIFA buttons, even though back in the day I played a lot of PES. FIFA's always been my main game. Jacob, I'm not shaving my beard. I had a little trim yesterday, as you can probably tell. I went a little bit higher with the trim. I was like, I was gonna go all the way and shave my hair off, but I've saved it for a little bit longer. Manav says, I rate Grealish. People question his attitude on the pitch. Forget he's captain for a reason. He's done. Look, we can't let this indiscretion. Obviously, if it turns out to be worse, then that's fine. But as it stands, we can't let this indiscretion affect what he's done over the last 2 years. Things happen. He's only human. Obviously, it's stupid, but I'd still take him. I mean, we had Wayne Rooney doing silly things every now and then. Do you know what I mean? So come on. All about PES. PES is good. I like PES. I'll get a copy of the guys and sort it out. Would you not prefer Maddison as he adds more of a balance to the midfield, Jadon? That's probably true. If we were to keep Pogba, Maddison's probably looking more likely because of the fact he's more of a plays a little bit deeper, doesn't he? He's more suited to playing deeper and getting involved from midfield areas, from deeper line midfield areas. So yes, in that sense, but on a straight head-to-head basis, who would I want? I think Jack Grealish is the better player. Do you think United are going to be at Carrington 10th of April? And if not, that's a month and a half without football. Do you reckon teams are going to shout for small pre-season before it started again? So that's the initial report. If you guys don't know what Jeremy's on about, United are scheduled to be back in training on the 10th of April. As of yet, that hasn't changed. That hasn't changed for Manchester United, but it could obviously change depending on whether this lockdown situation in the UK escalates even further. Depends what happens with the coronavirus situation. But I'd assume that would still go ahead. And look, I know the league extended the league indefinitely, and they've put that date of April the 30th on it. That's probably going to be extended. But I think at this moment in time, clubs are pretending they're going to be back at that point. So like you say, they'd come back on the 10th and have that 3-week kind of pre-season period to get ready for the rest of the season. So I do think there'll be that period of time before the league campaign starts, even if it does keep getting delayed. Like, you know, if we hear now they have another meeting and they say, well, in June we're going to have this behind closed doors for 4 weeks, 5 weeks. If they did that, then I'd imagine that in May the players would be told to get back together with the team, and the players would then head out there and they'd do a pre-season a few weeks before then, but it just gets shifted further down. I read that City can match any bid for Sancho and get first dibs. I think that'll fuck it up for us. I think the players, what the player wants will always come into it, and I think the player doesn't want to go back to City. John, who's a Villa fan, says only downside to Grealish is he can get greedy sometimes. He sometimes always wants to hold on to the ball a bit too long and can lose it in bad places. Yeah, I hear that, but I do feel that's down to him probably thinking he has to do everything at Villa, whereas if he came to Man United, he wouldn't be the main man as such. He'd be one of them, but I don't think he'd be the main man as such. Leif says I prefer Adama Traore over Sancho. Adama Traore is a good player, but I definitely prefer Sancho. Haven't we learned about our previous superstar signings? I don't think Jadon Sancho is a superstar signing. I think he'd be a very costly signing. He'd be a high price signing, and he is obviously a player that you deem marketable and stuff. But he's not a superstar in that. He's not like a Di Maria or a Falcao or a Schweinsteiger or Alexis coming in at the back end of their careers and they've done it all. He's still got a lot to prove, a lot of potential to fulfill, and I think it'd fit in with the mentality that United are trying to gather within their squad. The latest on Jadon Sancho is Fabrizio Romano reported yesterday that Dortmund have sent a message to any clubs interested in Sancho, saying we won't change the price after the coronavirus crisis and will not sell him for less than 110 million euros. That's 98 million pounds. United are in contact with his agent, but Dortmund have not received any official bid yet. It will not be a quick deal. So their CEO came out the other day and was talking about how they're open to a deal, and a deal could happen, but you know, it's not done yet. 110 million euros, 98 million pounds for Jadon Sancho. It's actually cheaper than I would have thought. I would have thought they were asking for like 120 million pounds. But obviously you have to take into consideration the current situation. This market may be a little bit, there'll be less spent in the next market than there would have been in the last market, that's for sure, because of the way clubs have lost money. But Jadon Sancho continues to be linked with Manchester United. There was talks that it was unofficially confirmed. He had unofficially confirmed this deal in the sense that he was going around telling friends and people that he was joining Manchester United, but it hadn't been done yet. It's been reported on a number of occasions that United have held talks with his agent, and we've had a number of talks with his agent, but we haven't agreed anything yet, and we haven't made an official bid with Borussia Dortmund. So as of yet, it's probably just been, we know it's not right, but it happens in football, where it will just be a case that United will be sounding out his agent. Does he want to move? How much will he want? Can we meet that? Alright, let's go talk to Dortmund. What does Dortmund want for him? And Dortmund may even use Sancho's agent as a middleman for that, to say, alright, you want to sell him, here's the asking price. So it's an interesting one. I hope we get him. I hope we get Jadon Sancho, but I also hope we get Jack Grealish. I hope we get loads of players. But it is starting to look more and more like Jadon Sancho will be becoming a Manchester United player. Just can't count your chickens yet, because we don't know when the season's going to end, when the transfer window is going to open, when next season's going to start. Are we in the Champions League? Are we not? How much money have we lost out on during this period of time? How long will this go on for? We don't know any of those things. And I'm sure while all of this is up in the air, transfers aren't going to happen. Football isn't going to function as normal while there isn't any games going on, while there's no fans not allowed inside. So it's all very awkward at the moment. But I imagine there are these discussions going on with players and with agents and with clubs, just via email and phone call and stuff. Khabib and Tony Ferguson's off, says Corey. Going to do a Skype call with Dean and upload something to Straight Up soon. So we'll get that sorted for you. Saul has never played in the Prem. Grealish is ready to go. Look at his stats. It says 2 tiers in a bucket. Saul Niguez was linked with a big money move to Manchester United yesterday. I just don't feel that one is going to happen. 130 million pounds? No chance. I can see us spending that kind of money on Jadon Sancho, not on a Saul Niguez, as good as he is. I just can't see that happening. Do you think a centre back is needed, says Liam? I do think we need to sort out that area. I did it in a video where we had 10 things that he needs to fix, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I mentioned that we need to, get rid of Jones, Rojo, maybe get rid of Smalling, and bring maybe one more in. Wrestle India's in the comments, and they say, will you watch WrestleMania? I was thinking about this yesterday. So at the moment, I'm currently I've signed up to the WWE network, and I'm reliving my childhood, going through all of the Raws from like 97. I started around 97. I started watching again from the Montreal Screwjob. So that's where I've started watching, and now I've got to I think I was at Unforgiven when Kane and Undertaker fought in the was it Unforgiven where they fought in the where they had to burn each other, the fire match. So I've watched it up to there, and where Austin fought Dude Love, Mick Foley, and all that kind of stuff. And now I'm carrying on. But I was thinking about watching WrestleMania at the weekend, whenever that is. Maybe we could do a live stream on that. I don't know. It'd be funny to maybe get my reactions to the new things in the world of wrestling, because I haven't watched for so long. But nice one for getting involved, Wrestle India. I'm going to check out your channel and see what you guys do, because I am thinking of making more Attitude Era content and wrestling content. Yes, Lone Wanderer with the super chat. Thank you very much for getting involved. He says, you really still want Grealish after what happened, brother? I do want Grealish, These things happen. Sometimes a little bit of madness in your players is alright as well. But I do still want him. Obviously, if it turns out he was drink driving and all that stuff and it gets worse, then you'd probably think, this ain't happening. The club ain't going to take that risk. But if it's just the case that he's gone out when he shouldn't have been out and he crashed his car, he didn't hurt anybody, he didn't hurt himself, it wasn't a major collision, alright, give him the benefit of the doubt this time. But if it does turn out and the police are investigating it and it becomes a bigger deal, then you've got to reconsider things. And I think that's why United are monitoring it, and continuing to look at the situation. Thank you for your super chat, Lone Wanderer. I appreciate your contribution to the channel. I appreciate everybody supporting the channel in the last couple of weeks. In the last week, we had 100,000 views. Now, that's not much to some, but it's a lot to this channel because I haven't been taking it seriously for many years. And in the last month, I've started to really crack things on and get things underway. And we opened up the memberships. We've had loads of new members, P Savage, PJ, few more in the comments as well. Who was in the comments earlier? Let's have a look. Jeremy as well, and the new members, Jeremy, Rec, and James. So if you do want to join up, feel free to click that join button. If you don't, feel free to remain as a normal subscriber. Make sure you're subscribing. You still get daily content. If you're a member, you just get extra little things like emojis and avatars, and we'll have little chats and things like that, and you'll get an exclusive video every month you'll get, if I ever make any merch, you'll get a discount code on that. All that kind of thing. So make sure you are joining if you can. If not, just subscribe. That helps me as well. Wrestling this as well. That's great. It's pre-tape this year without a crowd. Yeah, I seen Austin's return without a crowd. It was really shit. I didn't enjoy it without a crowd. He made it funny because the way he was interacting with no crowd. But yeah, old days were the real good times. I make content in Hindi, but sure, you can check it out. Yeah, it's in 2 days, WrestleMania. Madness. I'll check out your channel. Nice one, Wrestle India. Hope you're well. Alex Dara is in the comments. He says Grealish is like a hooker. Some parts are better than others. Sometimes there will be regrets, and there's plenty of arsehole. Fuck it out, mate. Grow up here, boys. He's had a ding. No one got hurt. What you saying, Joe? You good? The goal he scored against us was mint eye. It was an amazing goal. That great goal by Jack Grealish. Fair play to him. Leif says, can you imagine if it was Pogba that did what Jack Grealish did? I hear you. And can you imagine if Pogba had either said what Harry Kane said in an interview this week or had did what Jack Grealish did? It would be a madness. It'd be an absolute madness. Bailey's cleaning his car. P. Savage just wants to help us grow. This is what's going on. Loving the AMTV famo. He might pull himself together being at a massive club like United, because I don't think Ollie would take. And he says, Matt, taking his shit. Yeah, and Fergie's, look, I'm not comparing their situations. Obviously, Paul Gascoigne had a real bad drinking problem, and he was going on a mad one a lot of times, and he had his issues. But at the same time, if he came to Man United, would that have changed things? And I always think if Paul Gascoigne played for United, we would have looked after him a little bit. The invasion against WWF is the best moment for me, says Jeremy. I love the invasion. I also remember when DX drove out to WCW when they were having a live show and tried to get into the arena. That was pretty sick as well. Stretford Paddock are in the comments saying, you ever seen Grealish on the streets of Birmingham? He lives in the posh ends. I live in the ghetto. So, I've grown up in LaSalle's and Aston, in Handsworth and them areas. That's where I've grown up, but I've not really seen him around because he won't live in Aston. Where he had that accident was in a place called Dickens Heath, which is far from me. Yes, Lone Wanderer, tell them in the comments. Do you like the leak kit for next season? Trying to get Ndidi. Wait, I've just mixed up two comments. 20 times says, do you like the leak kit for next season or nah? I don't mind the leak kit, the one with the yellow and black dashes. It looks alright. What are your thoughts on trying to get Ndidi, says Jacob. Be an interesting one. It'd be a very good signing. I like the idea of signing Thomas Partey as well. It'd be great if we could get Thomas Partey in, but have to hold our breath on that one. To watch a match at Old Trafford is top of my bucket list. This is Caribbean Gaming. Yeah, man. If you ever make it out, make sure you give us a shout. We'll get you on the fan cams and all that good stuff. Is WCW the real WWE? No, they're just both wrestling corporations. Disappointed that Vince McMahon won't let CM Punk return to WWE. See, I'm not up to date with it. I'm not up to date with the current situation. So, yeah, watching WrestleMania is going to be an eye-opener for me. Do you want me to do that live on here? Is there enough interest in me doing that live on here, or would it just not be of interest to all you football heads? Not that you like Hey Arnold or anything, but I mean, you love football, do you know what I mean? Remember, guys, we're talking Jack Grealish. Is his move on hold to Man United? Are United reconsidering that? The Mail say no, but they will keep monitoring the situation as it develops. Dortmund have put a £98 million price tag on Sancho. Sal Negres was linked with a £135 million move to United. And Rio says United should sign Sancho and Kane after Kane came out saying his future at Spurs was definitely not certain. Let's have a look. Romero crashed his Lambo. Oh yeah, he did. Remember? Oh god, that was horrible. You planning to do a United career mode? I am. Yeah, I'm waiting for the PS4 camera, and then we'll get that on the road. It might be on Twitch, it might be on here, but I'll let you know as soon as we get it sorted. Is there a way to dual stream Twitch and YouTube, or send your Twitch through to YouTube, or just, you know what I'm asking right now, right? How do I do that stuff? Yeah, WCW did get bought by WWE. Best thing to come from WCW was Goldberg and Rey Mysterio. Was P Savage. Is that an ambulance? And is that Jackie Boy again? Says 20 times. Tony Marshall went to refuel his whip and almost caught a case, but he's too slick with it, so he had a mask and of course the gloves with him. Says Busby Legend in the comments. Best thing about Grealish is how he makes space for other players because he draws so many players out of position to tackle him, says John, who's given the positives and the negatives of him. Not sure Kane would work. I don't think Kane's going to come to Man United anyway. Minnie's in the comments. Is a master of football. He's clocked it. He's only going to get better. Trust me, says 2 Tears. 4-4-2 diamond with Fred, Pogba, Fernandes and Grealish as a 10. That is so saucy but so attacking at the same time. George Best did have a drinking problem, but it wasn't in my era, so I don't want to comment on that. And he's not with us to defend himself, so I don't want to speak about it either. Are clubs really doing business during this pandemic, or is it just news for the sake of news? I think a bit of both. I think there'll be talks there. I don't think there'll be any deals happening, but I think they'll be using this time to talk. I'm sure they'll be being productive in some sort of way. It would make sense to, wouldn't it? Mikey has just joined Adam Macola TV, so thank you to Mikey for becoming the latest member of Adam Macola TV. You absolute legend. Adam's in the comments, Busby's in the comments saying Grealish over Maddison. Every day this is akin to the Cantona situation. You can't link it, but I don't think you can't link it. You can link it, but I don't think you're allowed to stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, says Alex. Okay, cool. I'll just stream on YouTube then, if I can. Thoughts on Martial's new hairstyle, says Garin. It's gone all bold. I like that. I like it. How hard it will it be to get Haaland in the future if he keeps banging in goals? I think it'd be an easy transfer to make if you've got the money. Just depends where he wants to go, doesn't it? Live stream free action through WrestleMania needs some atmosphere with the arena being empty. Actually, that's a good shout, isn't it? That's a good shout. So I'll do a WrestleMania watch along. Someone moaning about the volume and the mic, so I've brought the mic closer to me. Max, hopefully that's improved. No probs, loving your content. Cheers, Mikey. Appreciate you, brother. When you're going to chop the barnet, we've had discussions today within the household of who's going to take responsibility with the Clippers and take them to this head. So we're currently discussing that situation, and it's under review for the next day. So maybe on the next stream I won't have any hair. Who knows? Who knows? I hope we focus mostly on getting Sancho, then focus on the other transfers at a later date. Cannonballer says Kane is too injury prone. Mark says shows he has no morals. Interesting one. Grealish is a difficult one to judge, says Alex. If he's good enough for United, one good season in top flight, but would he keep up with the momentum? I'm not too sure. Different atmosphere and different training. On the alternative, I do think he would. That would lift him a little bit, wouldn't it? Surely. Playing with better players, training in a better place, playing for a bigger club. It's got the ability to lift him as well. It's got the ability to pressure some players and force some players to maybe not perform as well. But I do feel like that could also lift people up. Bold Adam is coming, Dara. Believe me. No, it's not going to be full on skin. It's going to be like maybe a 2. Not fully bold. Come on, guys. Wrestle India thinks I'm going to go Ashley Young. Chill out a little bit, yeah? Let's sign Vinnie Jones. Let's not. Remember when he tried to decapitate? I say decapitate, it didn't go for his head. When he tried to take off fucking Cantona's legs and Cantona just moved out the way and looked at him like, how do you think you are? Vinnie Jones, my arse. Great actor though. He's in some of my favourite films. Snatch, Lock, Stock, 2 Smoking Barrels. Good old Vinnie Jones. You should go for a James Harden beard over this quarantine period. Is that like the long thing? Yeah, I don't know how to do it, because you know what? I get vexed when like it gets a little bit scraggly. Like I put balm and butter and oil and that in it to try and maintain it, but sometimes it gets a little bit scraggly and I just think, fuck it, and then just trim it down. How's your quarantine going over in the UK? Says Zane. Trying to hold on here, man. Trying to stay sane. To do that and to keep my sanity, I'm trying to keep these daily videos going with you guys, and keep talking to you lot to just keep me going and keep me thinking about football and positivity. Also, I'm enjoying a little bit of the WWE network, a bit of Disney Plus, a bit of Netflix. Tiger King was great. So just trying to, keep it different, keep every day exciting, try and do something new. And we're taking things seriously on Adam McCullough TV as well. We don't know when the football is going to return, but whatever happens, we're going to keep going here on Adam McCullough TV. We're going to build this channel up. We're going to hopefully hit 75k by the end of May, so subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to keep adding new members to the channel as well. We're going to increase production as soon as we can, start making new videos and things like that. So make sure you're keeping it locked to Adam McCullough TV and joining the channel as well. Like Mikey did today. Mikey joined up, the latest member. You got like a Graciano Pele beard. He was a good player at point, wasn't he? Graciano Pele. Looks like Grealish might still come. That means Pogba will end up going. I'd rather keep Pogba, says Riff. I'm running out of my stock of booze though, says Minnie. That's essential, right? That's essential, isn't it? You can still go out and get that. Jim Lee, you just click that join button, bro. Just imagine how loud OT will be when everything is back to normal. Yeah, that's a good place to spend the next 5 minutes talking this stream out. When all of this is over, what's the first thing you're going to do, guys? What's the first thing you're going to do? Are you gonna go to a certain place to eat? Go watch a film? Go see someone that you haven't seen in a while? What's the first thing you're going to do as soon as this shit's over? Obviously, we know football coming back and all that's important. But bar that, what's the first thing you're going to do? Appreciate you, Matt. Thank you very much. Mark says, grow it. Look a bit like Joe. Don't want to go that far. Pogba ain't going nowhere, says man like Mo. John says, who's your best free kick taker? Because with Jack in your team, you get so many free kicks on goal. Bruno Fernandes. Pogba possibly if he stayed. Dara says, what's your favourite ever United jersey? I love this one. The 98-99 one. I don't know if you can see it in the picture. But I also love the Champions League edition as well. That year, in the one that we won the treble in. And this 08 one's one of my favourites. The blue one. Remember when Ronaldo banged Arsenal with the blue one? I like that one as well. I like a lot of kits. The black one that we beat Arsenal in as well, 4-2, was a good one. No booze shop, says Minnie. Got it. Can't you order it in your next shopping or get it in your next shopping trip? There's no Mackies. So, so 20 times is going to go to Mackies first. That's the first thing that he's going to do. Is go to Mackies. Watching Netflix when this is all over. I meant not when this stream's over. I meant when the lockdown's over. John says shout out to any Kenyan in the house. LBDC says I'm cringe. How dare you, brother? How dare you? Give me the blue one. I haven't got the blue one here. The blue one that I've got was signed by Darren Fletcher, Wes Brown, a few other players. So after the 09 final that we lost in Rome, I watched it in Manchester. I didn't have a ticket for the final, so I watched it in Manchester. And after the game, we travelled to the airport. Well, the day after the game, we went to the airport to see the players as they arrived back. And I remember getting my blue shirt signed by a fair few players. Solskjaer signed it as well. I remember that because Solskjaer wasn't obviously playing at that time in 2009, but he was with the squad. He must have been doing stuff out there as an ambassador for United. And I think he might have been in the coaching staff at that period of time, the 23s or something. And I remember Fletcher and Wes Brown and Kushak and all these players had gone past and signed my shirt. A few other good ones, I can't remember who. And then Cristiano Ronaldo went through with no blazer on, no tie on, and everyone was like, yeah, that's him gone. He was the only player that didn't have the blazer or the tie on, and everyone just kind of used that as an indication that he was leaving United as he walked through the airport. And Solskjaer walked through with his wife, yeah. Solskjaer was pushing a pram with his wife, and I was about 20 years old at this point. I didn't give two fucks about anything. And as they were walking through, Solskjaer was pushing the pram. His wife was in front of them, and I was singing Solskjaer's song, "You Are My Solskjaer, My Only Solskjaer, Make Me Happy When Skies Are Grey." I was literally, out of 100 fans that were lining these two sides of the airport as they walked through, I was the only one singing his name. And as he got to the door at the exit of the airport, he gave the pram to his wife, came over to me, signed my shirt, and then walked off and didn't sign anybody else's. And that was one of the greatest things ever. And just a great memory that I had. So I don't know how I got to that memory, but yeah, the 2009 Champions League final that was. What's the best way to fix the fixture list and start the next season? LDBC, no I don't. What's the best way to... set a deadline. If you can't complete the fixtures by those deadlines, a reasonable deadline, you cancel the season. Hope you still have the sharp jersey, Cantona with the flicks collar. All the ones that I had were small, so my dad will have his ones somewhere. Like, that's my dad's. But when I was that age, when that shirt came out, I was a kid. So all my shirts would be like that big, or ripped or damaged or something like that. Yes, Toxic, how you doing? Matter is the best free kick taker, says Busby. Maybe. Yo, some of these clowns need to chill. I'm gonna make a few moderators on here, I think. Who wants to be a mod on my thing to just deal with bellends in the comments? Let's mute this guy. Jesus. The first point of call will be the knocking shot. Who wants to be a mod? P Savage, you want to be one, bro? Let me know in the comments. Any of you regulars want to be in there. But guys, thank you for joining us here on Adam McCullough TV. It has been another United Daily. We have been live again. I've been rambling towards the end, so I do apologise for that. But I'm going to head out now. Make sure you keep liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and of course, make sure you join in if you can. Like this video. I'm gonna set a few of you as mods now before I head out,